Welcome to All Movie Recap 360. Today we are going to talk about Home Sweet Hell. This is the story of a family consisting of a husband and a wife. In this family, the more straight the husband is, the more psycho the wife is. The story begins with a house scene, and here we see a family consisting of a husband named Mula and a wife named Mool and their two children named Allison and Andrew. But don't work in this house. All the decisions of the house are taken by Mona, and whatever Mona says, both have to do it. Mona creates routine for everything, and no child should be an exception. Pathan also does exactly the same. There are rules and regulations for everything in this house. Mona also plans that both of them will sit empty-handed, and once she plans, both of them can't come closer before that, and Tony is suffering from everything for a long time, and Mona's attitude towards her children is also the same. She also guides the children in a different way. He believes that his children should always win. He doesn't care about anyone, and Don is always worried about fixing all these things. But he knows that he cannot do anything. He always tries to get closer. But Mona pushes her away again and again. Saying goodbye as he planned will be intimate accordingly. That's why Don is upset, because Mona doesn't understand his needs. Don spends most of his time in his shop. He owns a furniture shop, but Don listens to Mona because all the money for this shop was given by his father. That's why Mona works as the owner of this shop and the wife of the world famous. But Mona never reveals this fact, and everyone thinks that she is the master of the world. Only then half the world also comes to the notice that what work he needs, and the next day a girl comes whose name is very beautiful to see. That's why Don starts liking her as soon as he sees her, and he starts planning to get intimate with her. He also hires a neighbor, then he sees a friend of Param Don whose name is La, and starts getting reinstated by giving him limit duty, and Talker talks only about her beauty. Both of them refuse him. That's why he says that we need someone to divert your mind. We work all day long and listen to our wives till then. That's why if you people are destiny, then our mind will also be happy, and we will be able to concentrate on work properly. Then we see a man who has just committed a murder. Then an advertisement starts playing in the TV near him, and this advertisement is not of anyone else, but Don's environment is telling about his shop. Only then Qureshi him. After seeing this, all three make a plan that they will chase the Don. Then they start chasing the Don and his family. But Don is not even aware of this and continues to spend time with his family and at his shop. But always someone or the other chases the Don, but both the artist takes care of himself and wants to know what kind of trouble he has. Then slowly Dusty also understands this, and one day both of them come closer and start getting intimate. Then this cycle starts like this. Heroes are intimated everywhere and every day, and Don starts getting very happy with them, sizes up, and tries to make himself as good as possible. But in the meantime Mona tries to get him to buy her, but both keep on refusing her again and again, and everything is going well according to the Don, but in the meantime there is a day party at the Don's house too. Then the duty also comes there and gives with bedroom. When she tells Don more that she is pregnant, the two drug addicts are surprised and ask if you didn't take the pills, then she starts saying no. Don then says that you will have to get an abortion done. Then Dirty says that this also cannot happen because I want to keep this child. That's why after listening to these things, both of them start getting worried even more, and it starts to be understood that their problems are going to increase. That's why he goes to Lee and tells him the whole thing, then advises him to shut Dirty's mouth by paying some money and is looking for himself, and he deliberately did not grind too much. It only means that he is going Goldie, and nowadays the number of such girls has become very high. She traps rich people like this and starts blackmailing them, and I think Dashti is also one such girl. Then we see Rusty who leaves with a gangster named Murphy, and this is the same man he has been following for so many days. Don then reveals to us that Lee was telling the truth. Darty also continues to be Goldie, but she is doing all the work only on the instructions of Murphy. Murphy always targets a man and then gets to work dirty. Perry altogether fool him and get a lot of money from the man, but this time the case is different as Dusty has somehow developed a liking for Don. But on the other hand Don is also thinking. That's why when he gets the boat next time, Danish tells his whole story. He says that I am a man with children, and our relationship will not be able to remain like this for long. That's why I want you to go away from me, but after saying this, that Dusty King gives no objection. Ashton starts crying after seeing things and says, who do you think I am, a prostitute, and are you brave enough to give me money? I really like you and I want to be with you. But if you don't want to live with me, the poet is also fine, but after saying this, she takes the money and goes away. But Murphy gets angry as soon as he sees donuts at the door. Brush starts torturing Dusty and tells him that you will have to get rid of Patricia donors as soon as possible. Because we are not getting anything done with this much money. That's why you start blackmailing the nation or the problems of return down start increasing because both of them don't have that much money at all. That's why he remains troubled. And finally decides that there is only one matter to set it all right. Why after talking to Mona, that is why he goes to Mona and tries to tell this. But I am also scared that no one knows how Mona will react. When the wife tells everything to Mona, then she comes with Mona's loan, and that too seems to be useful. It doesn't matter to him how he looks. That's why both start getting scared even more. Then Mona asks him, do you love him too? Don says no, I love you and want to be with you, and shows her true form as Nikita, Mona Yoya with her kids, and she starts screaming. Don humiliates him a lot and also shows him his worth. Is whatever he is only because of social Mona and also because of him. But because of his father. Otherwise he had a barber. If there was money to eat Rhoda and barber, she tells him after scolding that you are tasty. How will you have to kill? Because such women never give up. Whatever you do, the more you stay behind, the more you throw yourself into the society. That's why who donates to Drishti? And tell him what do you want? So she says she needs $20,000 in gold. Then after listening to this, he disconnects the call. Parmanu starts threatening Yopathan and tells that the girl will trouble you like this. That's why you have only two ways. The first way is to destroy and kill. And the other way is that you give me a divorce. Then you will lose me too and lose your children too, and you will have nothing with him. New car and new car. That's why Don gets thinking why what to do. But he doesn't want to kill anyone, but Mona doesn't want to understand all these things. That's why she keeps on putting pressure on such a Don. But Dongri gives medicine because Mona knows that the last trustee is going to come to collect the money. That's why she tells Don to give this medicine to Mona and then hold his hand. But both of them are scared of this thing. Still, Don also takes medicines at night. Even when duty comes to his office and back, he gets him a drink away. In which he mixes the medicine. As soon as she drinks the medicine, she starts feeling dizzy. Then she faints as soon as she sees it. Then Mona comes forward and tells them to pick it up and take it to their car. Both of them do it right. What was this car about the environment? But the daughter is still conscious only after seeing the thing starts searching, but he is more scared of what wife Mona will do with the daughter. That's why Mona says that Bonnie brings the hammer if he takes the hammer. Then Mona says to beat her unconscious. But Rather gets scared hearing this, so Mona scares him again and says that you will have to do this work because you did not enjoy it. But when Don is unable to do this, Mona takes a hammer and kills Dusty in one stroke. But even here he is not satisfied. This is done for the same purpose and starts dismembering his body and divides his body into hundreds of parts. That's why after seeing all the things, both start vomiting because the scene starts passing like this in a very terrible year for him, and many days pass. That's why Murphy on the other hand is very tensed and wants to find Dusty anyway because no one has called him for days. Only then do we see Don on the other side, when Otto is in his house, only then he is through the window. Looks outside. To Murphy who is talking with his daughter. He keeps running so far, but by then Murphy is already gone. But he has given the letter in the hands of Don's daughter. In which he has said that he wants to meet Don. Wants to talk about Dusty. Don is horrified after seeing the whole thing, but he knows he has to meet Mercy anyway. That's why it becomes night. Murphy meets Kamal at the club before Kamal asks him if Dusty's there. Then Don says, I don't know, she came to me that night. Then I gave her $20,000 and where did she go after that? I don't know anything about this. Then everyone starts abusing Dusty and says that as soon as she got the money, she showed her true form and ran away from here. But Murphy tells Don that he needs another $20,000. She has replied by taking dirty money. That's why you have to pay me more money. So both of them start getting worried and soon they tell all these things. Mona becomes happy and says that I had already told you that you will not listen to the ghosts of Kix. That's why Benjamin knows where Dusty's body is. That's why by taking his dead body outside and entering his Murphy's house, he will be implicated in the murder and we will get rid of everyone. But Tony says after listening to things, what are you talking about? I do not understand anything, and how will you say the last word? Tamana says leave it to me. That's why Milo arrives tonight. Don stays in the car with Murphy, but Mona takes the pieces of Rusty's body and she goes inside Murphy's house and stuffs him in the fridge. Dusty is also in charge, but Murphy's accomplice arrives just when Mona is looking after the NGO. That too with a girl. But the girls leave and the marriage begins to doubt, and she feels that there is definitely someone in the house, so Mona understands that the man will catch her. That's why she picks up a knife from the kitchen and runs away after killing this marriage too. But this man is still alive. That's why he calls immediately. Murphy begins to tell the whole story what happened last. Then we see that Mona has gone out, and on the way out she calls the policeman and says that Murphy should bring something every day, and that's why the policemen leave the residence. Just then Murphy arrives. But as soon as he enters inside the house, he finds his partner's dead body. That's why he gets upset and goes near the freeze. But as soon as he opens the fridge, he finds Dusty's dead body inside, so he doesn't understand what to do and still thinks about something. Before that, you policemen come. Carwy asks to come out, but Murphy's accomplice only wants to know that they know the policeman will catch him. That's why he starts firing at them. So the policemen kill Murphy's accomplice, but Murphy escapes through the passageway under the house. Only then on the other side do we see Don Pansari's Joe. Donna is getting worried thinking about it. That's why all three gather courage and talk to Mona and say that how did you do so many things with such ease? I think something must have happened in your childhood that made you so cruel. So after hearing these things, now Mona starts behaving very strangely, and she says that my parents are absolutely fine and they have always given me love. That's why after today you never ask me this question, otherwise you never ask me, and if you ask me this question again, I will do the same condition to you as I did to Destiny, and she leaves after making this threat. After coming to the room in the bedroom, both of us sit and we both understood that his life is going to be ruined. Even Puha could not leave Mona, otherwise Mona would have beaten her. Policemen come the next day. Jita and Varun start interrogating them and confidently tell that your blue patrol has become his blood. But the good thing is that we have caught half of it, but the 2-year-old murderer is on the run. But the policeman asks the question again and says that many people say that Dusty used to come to your shop even at night. That's why after hearing this, he is searched and he feels that he may not be caught. That's why he tells the truth to the policeman and says that mine and Dusty's. That's why she used to come at night. I have, but I want what my wife does not know. Then the policeman says that I understand, you do not need to worry. Then things continue to go on. Then their neighbor's dog comes inside the house and Mona gets furious after seeing Rishi. Then she picks up the dog and goes out and says that almost Baror came inside my house. Then I'll break it into pieces. Then everyone laughs after hearing this, but they know what Mona can do. Then the next day we see that Andrew has a day party and all the guests have come. Then he goes to open the fridge. But he sees that his neighbor's dog is under the fridge. Means really Mona killed that dog. That's why the problems of both start increasing. That's why Belindu is competing with Julie's son. But Hindu doesn't win that competition, then Mona gets very angry seeing Rishi. But shortly before, Mona told Dawn that she will kill Kat's son because he is better than her son, and Tony is watching everything. But after a while Mona gets angry, so she goes to Lee and says that my son is not winning because your son Vishnu takes racks. That's why she is better than my daughter. But even this does not satisfy his mind. She also insults Birali's husband, and Mona's daughter is watching all these things. That's why she snatches her brother's hand and does as her mother wants. Mona is happy about something, and Tony is watching all the things very carefully, and he understands that Mona will slowly make her daughter like Russian, and lest her innocent son become a pal because she puts pressure on him again and again. That's why Tony plans on his own. That Karachi goes in and removes all the wires so that there is a short circuit as soon as you light the gul patty. After doing Paris, he opens all the gas below so that the gas spreads all around, and as soon as the light of the bullets is lit, the fire that came out from the short circuit, you get a big explosion. After fixing the jite, it comes out, and Mona says if you were American fire free to me. That's why Mona starts going. He goes out of the world towards the garage that he knows what is going to happen next, but anyway he goes out without knowing anything. Only then Mona goes to the garage that as soon as she presses the switch, either a huge blast takes place and Mona dies in that, and time starts passing like this. Then after some time we see Don, who lives in a luxurious palace with his children and has become richer than before. That he gets all Mona's money and her insurance money, and they are all very happy because he doesn't have to follow the rules and regulations. That's why Don had his kids sitting in the car and leaves from here. Only then does Awarisi Murphy, who is riding a bike and learns everything about who killed Dusty. That's why he starts following. 2 gunshots are heard throughout Don's room, which suggests that Murphy has killed Don, ending the film.is. So friends, our today's video ends and you must have liked this video of ours. Like it, share it and subscribe the channel. So that